In this video, I'll be helping you with the ALEKS problem type called complex fraction made of sums involving rational expressions, problem type 6. We're given this complex fraction to simplify, and we can see that we have fractions in the numerator, we have fractions in the denominator. Our goal is going to be to identify from all of these denominators in the top and the bottom what the lowest common denominator is. So we can see some commonalities here, but our lowest common denominator would need both the v plus 2 factor and the v minus 4 factor. This lowest common denominator has all of the denominators represented as factors. So our process will be to multiply everything in the numerator by this lowest common denominator and everything in the denominator by that same lowest common denominator. So in effect, we're multiplying by 1, v plus 2 times v minus 4 over v plus 2 times v minus 4 is 1. But when we do this multiplication, our denominators that we identified here and highlighted in blue will all cancel. I'm going to write out perhaps more than might be necessary, but I want to be able to illustrate where all of this canceling happens. To begin with, we would need to multiply the v plus 2 times v minus 4 times the first term in the numerator. So this 5 over v plus 2 would be multiplied by v plus 2 and the v minus 4. And then we would also need to multiply that second term, which is 1 over v minus 4, by that same lowest common denominator, v plus 2, v minus 4. And then in the denominator, we also distribute. So the 2 over v minus 4 gets multiplied by v plus 2, v minus 4. And we also distribute to the second term, which is 4 over v plus 2. So it must be multiplied by that lowest common denominator, v plus 2, v minus 4. So we can see that each one of these terms gets multiplied by that lowest common denominator. And from here, canceling takes care of all of these denominators. The v plus 2 cancels, the v minus 4 cancels, this v minus 4 cancels, and this v plus 2 cancels. So after all of that canceling, we have the 5 times v minus 4. I'll go ahead and distribute that to be 5v and minus 20. And then in the second part, I have just the 1 to distribute. 1 times v plus 2 is just going to be v plus 2. In our denominator, we have 2 times v plus 2. 2 times v is a 2v. 2 times plus 2, a plus 4. And then for the second fraction, a positive 4 needs to be distributed. 4 times v plus 4v. 4 times a minus 4, a minus 16. So much simpler after all of that canceling and distributing, but we still have some terms that we can combine in the numerator. So 5v plus a 1v is a 6v. And minus 20 plus 2, a minus 18. In the denominator, combining like terms, there's a 2v and a 4v, which again add to 6v, and a plus 4 minus 16 that we can combine to be a minus 12. And our last step for simplifying fractions is to see if there are any factors in the numerator and denominator that cancel. And to do so, I can factor out a 6 from the numerator, leaving me with v in the first term and a minus 3 from the 18. In this denominator, I can also factor out a 6, leaving me with a v in the first term and a minus 2 in the second term. These 6's now cancel. And so with all of that canceling, we have a v minus 3 in the numerator and a v minus 2 in the denominator when simplified as much as possible.